Sometimes you make a cruise packing mistake that you do not even know is a mistake. Now, on a recent Alaska cruise, we were in line with some other people, and well, one of the people, she actually made a mistake that could have ruined her cruise. And on my recent trip, I actually ended up packing something that got me flagged by security at the airport. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, this video is not going to be about the same old cruise packing mistakes that many people already know about. These are going to be the cruise packing mistakes that we don't talk about enough, but that really do happen to real people. Now, at the same time, there are actually some new rules and some changes at the airport, TSA, and even cruise line policies of things that you can no longer bring on board. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention two things. So first, I am going to be sharing my own experiences, but I also did ask in the LifeWell Cruise community for people to share their own worst cruise packing mistakes, and believe me, there are some doozies. And secondly, if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Number one, now I had to mention this right away, and even if you think people don't make this mistake anymore, we were on a recent cruise, and yes, people are still making this mistake, and this is packing your passport and any other important travel documents and requirements in checked luggage. Now, this actually happened on our recent Alaska cruise where other people that were in line with us, well, one of the people, unfortunately, she realized she left her passport in her checked luggage, and you did absolutely need this to board the cruise. Now, travel documents, your insurance, any visa requirements, any of those things should never be put in your checked luggage, because once the porters actually take your checked luggage and they bring it over to the cruise ship, there are thousands of people on board, thousands of pieces of luggage, and it can be very challenging for them to find your luggage in time to retrieve that passport. And unfortunately, every year there are people that miss their cruise due to this. Now, thankfully for her, she was actually able to retrieve her passport and board the cruise, but she was one of the very lucky ones. Number two, packing and wearing the wrong shoes for a cruise. Do not bring any uncomfortable shoes. And sometimes we don't know they're uncomfortable, which is actually what happened to me. So on embarkation day, I wore very cute sandals about a year or so ago. And then what happened is I just didn't think about the fact that I'm walking thousands of steps on embarkation day, exploring the cruise ship. And if my shoes are not comfortable, what am I going to do to change? Well, all of my other shoes were actually in my checked luggage. So I wore those uncomfortable shoes and ended up with blisters that I nursed the entire week. Number three, power banks and portable chargers. Now, this is a two-part mistake. One of them we'll start with has to do with the flight, because there are new stricter airline rules that we want to make sure that we are following. Now, in the past, I would have said to put your power banks in your carry-on bags. However, these days, we have many airlines that are actually asking for them to be in your personal bag, and even that your power banks remain on you and visible. Now, the other mistake, and this is on a cruise or when traveling in general, is not packing enough power banks. Now, you want to make sure that you always have a phone that's charged. Super important on port days. You never want to go around with a battery that's died. But something to remember is you're taking photos, you're taking videos, and if you let your battery of your phone get lower than 20%, it does affect the quality of your video and photos. Number four, not packing a carry-on or personal bag for your flight and for embarkation. Now, I am surprised at how many people do not do this, not only for their cruise embarkation day, but even for their flight. Just imagine if your luggage is misplaced or lost, even for a day or two. So make sure that you do have your medication, your tech items, your valuables, and everything that you need for the first few hours of your cruise, even a change of clothes. Which brings me to the sponsor of today's video, Nomad Lane. Now, I'm excited to share Nomad Lane's new bento backpack. I love the bento bag. It's actually my favorite carry-on bag. So when Nomad Lane shared how they designed this new backpack to have many of the same features that people love in a convenient backpack form, I was thrilled to try it on our recent cruise. And I thought that this was really interesting. This backpack has actually been 5 years in the making, with a lot of testing and refining to get it right. On our recent Alaska cruise, we used the Nomad Lane bento backpack as our in-flight personal bag and embarkation day bag. And after seeing how organized we were and how easy it was to be hands-free, we used it again on a 3-day trip to New Orleans, and it actually made it easy to go carry-on only. Now, the Nomad Lane bento backpack opens up clamshell style, almost like a suitcase, with dedicated spaces for a laptop or iPad, toiletries, documents, and travel essentials. And it comes with a clear toiletry pouch and a tech organizer for cords and chargers. There are easy access front pockets for things like your sunglasses, medication, keys, and personal care items like hand moisturizer. There's also a hidden pocket in the back for your passport or money. The straps are a comfortable memory foam, and the bento backpack is designed so that heavier items sit close to your body so that it feels balanced and easy to carry. And it's roomy enough to pack a compression packing cube with a change of clothes, toiletries, and embarkation day essentials that you don't want to hand over with your checked luggage. Plus, I always like knowing that if my luggage is delayed, I still have what I need for a day or two. It also has a trolley sleeve so that you can slide it over your suitcase, plus a water bottle pocket that zips away when you're not using it. I'll leave the link to Nomad Lane along with an awesome discount code in the description and a pinned comment below in case you want to check it out. Number 5, packing a carry-on bag that is too heavy. Now, a lot of people are surprised to know that if you are flying internationally, your carry-on luggage will likely be weighed. And there are actually stricter restrictions when you're flying in Europe and internationally. So do check the size as well as the weight limits before you fly. Packing items that will get you flagged by security at the airport. Now, this is actually what just happened to me on my recent trip. We were traveling carry-on only. My carry-on bag went through the TSA screening, and we actually purchased a candle just at my hotel. Well, that ended up getting me flagged, and thank goodness, although I had a flight coming up, I actually had still enough time because they did need to pull my luggage. They tested the candle, and they explained that in a candle, which is something that I didn't know, that it could actually be something else. So it's taken quite seriously. Now, this added an additional probably 20 minutes to my screening process. So while everything ended up being well, if you have a connecting flight or you just don't have a lot of time, this is probably a souvenir that I would avoid buying. Not packing extra eyeglasses. Now, I cannot tell you how many people that this has happened to, but actually Frank, my husband, had a little bit of a mishap before a cruise just a few months ago. So first, if your glasses break and you really need them, what are you going to do? So what a lot of people do is, just in case something does happen, is they bring either a little mini eyeglass repair kit, because you never know. That's always something good to have. But the other thing that they do is they bring an old pair with them just in case. Now, what happened to Frank is we were actually having a little stay in Florida before our cruise just this past winter. He was running with the dog. The dog sort of ran right in front of him and actually made him trip and fall. Poor him. He had all these cuts on his face. Anyway, thank goodness we had a week before the cruise that healed up so that the pictures weren't too badly affected. But his glasses did break. But he did have a backup pair, which actually did save him. Packing medication incorrectly. Now, a mistake that a lot of people make is actually packing their medication in their checked luggage, which you never want to do. But beyond that, there are some best practices when it comes to medication. So first, make sure that you're always packing extra medication, and that's really just as a precaution. You should go for about 1 extra week. You also want to have a list of your medication with you, just in case, even if that's saved on your phone. Now, some cruisers shared that they actually forgot their prescription medication at home, which creates a problem because when you're traveling in another country, it might actually necessitate that you visit a local doctor, so it does get complicated. Now, when it comes to packing medication, what are the rules? Well, the TSA doesn't typically require you to have your medication in its original containers. Now, if you are traveling internationally, make sure that you do check what are the rules and the laws for bringing medication into that specific country, as some of the medications that are common for where you live might actually be controlled substances when you're traveling elsewhere. And I know a lot of people do wonder, do you need to keep your medication in their original containers when you are going on a cruise, or can you use the pill organizers? Now, I do suggest that you look on your cruise line website, as most cruise lines are going to recommend it, although they're not going to necessarily require it. But I do want you to check that for yourself. But I do have a hint. If you are not sure, what you can do is go see your pharmacist and ask them to prepare your medication in those bubble packets. Now, I do have an entire video all about cruising and traveling with medication, so I will leave that at the end of this video in case you do need more detail. All right, let's talk about some mistakes that people are making when they're packing their luggage. One of them is actually packing items in their luggage that may leak. Now, it can be items that leak because they're broken, and this is a problem that quite a few people mentioned. Do not pack wine in your checked luggage. Not only is it against the cruise rules, so they can actually take it out and they can confiscate it, but you know, that bottle of wine can actually break and it can certainly stain some clothes. You want to make sure that you have that in your carry-on bag. Other items can also leak. This includes hairspray, nail polish, and nail polish remover. So you want to be careful overall with any toiletries and make sure they are well packaged so that they do not leak. Now, another mistake that people make when it comes to packing, especially these days, is not using packing cubes the right way. Now, I think originally when packing cubes came out, we all thought of them as a way to space save. And of course, they are a great space saver. But beyond, just the ability to pack more and overpack, which we all want to watch for, they really should be used as an organizational tool. So you want to make sure that they actually help you out. So think about putting all of your tops together, or all of your evening wear together, or all of your gym wear and workout wear together, all of your swimsuits together. And this way, when you get into your cruise cabin, or even when you're at your hotel, you can actually open up your luggage, and each one of your packing cubes is almost a makeshift drawer. Not protecting your luggage. Now, I am going to talk about air tags in just a minute, but first I wanted to talk about putting too much information on your luggage tags. And I think a lot of people we are putting ourselves in harm's way for a bad actor and an airport scam. So when it comes to your luggage tags that you're actually using when you are flying, you want to have your name on there, and you want to have a way for somebody to reach you if your luggage is lost. But you do not want to have your home address on there. Instead, you can put an email address where somebody can reach you. And when it comes to your luggage on the cruise ship, a mistake that some people make is actually not using the cruise luggage tags. Now, what I like to do is use a luggage tag holder, because this way I can print out my luggage tag from the cruise line website, and then after that I can just place it right into my luggage tag holder, and I know it is protected from rain and other elements and is not going to fall off my luggage and therefore get misplaced on the cruise. Not using air tags or luggage trackers. Now, not only in the airplane, but even on the cruise ship, your luggage can go missing, especially if your luggage tag actually fell off because you simply used paper and stapled it, and, well, accidents do happen. So make sure that you are using an AirTag or some sort of Bluetooth tracker to ensure that your luggage never goes missing. Assuming that you could buy everything on the cruise ship. Now, I never want to encourage people to overpack, but the reality is, while cruise ships do carry the basics and they have a convenience store, what they do have is often limited. They may not have your preferred brand. And more than likely, what they do have is going to be sold at 3 or 4 times the price. Now, this is especially true for motion sickness medication, cold medicine, personal items, sunscreen, pain relievers, and feminine hygiene products. And I do have a little bit of a warning for anybody when it comes to motion sickness medication. If you think that you'll just pick it up either at the cruise ship store or if you'll get it from guest services, on our recent cruise, it was very, very rocky. A lot of people did get motion sickness, and some of the guests told me that the cruise ship actually ran out. So personally, I always travel with Bonine. I find that really effective, but you should bring whatever you think that you might need. And by the way, I will leave an entire list of cruise essentials, including that, down below in the description as well, in case that can be helpful. Now, other items that people have shared that they forgot, and you really want to watch out for this, is a hanging toiletry bag that people have left at the pre-cruise hotel because they hung it on the back of the bathroom door. So definitely watch out for this one. Forgetting underwear, socks, and shapewear and swimsuits at home. Forgetting luggage on the driveway and only realizing when they get to port. Forgetting to bring their passport. There have been some cases lately of that. Forgetting dresses or suits that are hanging behind the door right next to the luggage but never made it in. And men, several have shared that they forgot to bring their pants or trousers. The disembarkation day outfit packing mistake. Now, many cruisers actually make this mistake. They get very anxious as they are packing up the last night of their cruise, and what they forget to do after they put their luggage out is actually leave out a pair of pants, a shirt, a dress, whatever they're wearing, shoes even, people forget that. And they walk off the next morning in sometimes like a bathrobe from the cruise. You want to make sure that you do not forget this. Now, I'm going to leave a link to all of the items that I mentioned in this video down below in the description and a pinned comment. And I did also want to mention that I do have a newsletter that I send out every time I have new videos, blog posts, cruise deals, and more. And of course, we do have a group cruise that we are going to announce soon. So if you are interested in getting on my email list, I will leave a link down below in the description of the video, as well as a pinned comment and a QR code here. Now, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now and happy cruising.